Hello, my name is Kennedy. This is my YouTube channel, Bareface. But yeah, so hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'll just be like vlogging. I don't know. I like somewhere like where I can talk and like spill my thoughts. So we can get into it. Lately today, charging is on, adaptive charging is on, fully charging, fully charged now. So lately today, I've been thinking a lot. Like, you know how you like have music playing, but like, or something's going on, but you can't stop thinking about what happened yesterday or the day before that? That's what's been going on to me right now. Lately all day. Honestly, it's probably been all week. There's a lot of things that people said to me. Like, I remember my friend, I'm struggling with this one sin. It's probably multiple, under it, but she said something about like, you may have messed up yesterday, but the Lord woke you up. Oh, no, it was something like, you may have, like, something terrible may have happened, like, the day before, but the Lord woke you up today, and, like, that means you're given, like, a second chance to be thankful. Or, like, when she said, like, we die in our sleep, I genuinely, literally did not know this. I didn't know we like literally died. I was really like, oh, thank you, Jesus, for waking me up, because I did not know we died. Like, that's a little scary to hear. And that's why she's like, we're more vulnerable in our sleep. I knew that. I knew like we're more vulnerable, but I didn't know we like died. I have a pink pen. It's really cute, isn't it? It's really pretty. But so yeah, like things like that have been going on. Since before I had a date with this guy, I've been thinking a lot, like, because like after the date he didn't walk me back to my dorm, and he didn't like text me. He hasn't texted me for 3 days almost. But he liked my Instagram story. I don't believe that means anything. Like, I can like a picture of some ramen somebody cooked because it looks really good, and then go on to the next photo. Like, I'm not one of those people who like, oh man, he likes my stuff. Oh, that means he likes me. No, because that can mean so many other things. Especially off of like what I've been seeing. And this guy I used to watch, his name was Pretty Boy KB. Like, I used to watch him a lot. He would talk about like just dating in general and stuff like that, and I just liked what he had to say sometimes. Like, I may not have agreed with everything, but I liked his perspective on things and what he had to say. Because I'm not one of those people who like rush into things, but I am one of those people who like more like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm just like, there's nothing that can stop me. I'm gonna do it. And so that ties back into this date that I had. Mind you, y'all, tell me why I said, God, if you don't want me to go on this date, you gotta make it obvious. You gotta make it real obvious. You gotta make it known. I was like, you gotta make it like really known and obvious. And I was like, the most obvious you can get is if he doesn't show up. Like, that's the most hardcore stop. Like, he doesn't really care. And so that's what happened. He didn't show up, and I was disappointed. Like people go like, "Why are you disappointed? You shouldn't put your trust in a man." Blah blah blah. I didn't put my trust in anybody. I just like had an idea. Well, on my bad. Well, I had an idea of what this person would be like, and from some of the actions, I thought, okay, maybe he's like a little like different and like not gonna be. But I was wrong in the end. Lesson learned on my behalf. Uh, I gave him another chance. So what happened was that he was like So what happened was after that, I waited for 5 minutes. He didn't show up, so I got my food to go, and I left. And then so after that, around 6ish, because he was supposed to be there at 6 o'clock. Mind you, he did not show up. I had unfollowed and blocked him because that's what I usually do with people who like waste my time or who I don't care about. But I still have to see him, y'all. Like, I still have to see him when I go into public. So I didn't know I was gonna see him that day. I didn't know he was gonna actually walk up to me because he didn't walk up to me. How we met was his his girlfriend came up to me and she was like, "Hey, my friend likes you. He finds you attractive. He wants to know if he could get your Instagram." I usually don't give out my Instagram because I think that's child's play, but I was like, for this time, I was like, okay, yeah. I was like, why not? Sure. Because I was going to say, does he have WhatsApp? But I was like, no. Let him get my Instagram this time. But, so, yeah, I let him get my Instagram. We talked just for one day, and he had planned this date on Friday. The day was Wednesday when we talked. So mind you, 2 days go by and he didn't even check up, be like, "Hey, how are you doing? How's it going?" Sometimes it's like that when you don't go on a date with a person, like you don't know them. So you just be like, "Okay, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah," and check up on a maybe. And sometimes people don't talk until the date or until like it goes well, and then they start talking more after the date. But so there was no date that day. So I did block and follow him. And then so after that, I went to go to get something to eat from the DFAC, and then I see him again. He walks up to me. He was like, "You good? You good?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like at this point, I thought he was gonna jump me because when he was walking up to me, I was a little, because he's kind of taller than me. I'm 5'9", so I'm not short. So usually when guys walk up to me, it's like I can see them like in my I can see them in my vision, like one way vision. But if they're taller than me, it would go like I have to look up. So I had to look up a little bit, and then I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. What do you mean?" And then so he's like, he takes me to a corner. He goes like, about this date like we were supposed to have. I was like, yeah, and you didn't. He was like, what happened? I was like, you didn't show up. And he was so shocked. He was surprised. He was like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't show up, blah, 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 blah. And mind you, y'all, before this date, 2 hours earlier, he had messaged me saying, we still good to go? And I was like, yeah, we're still good to go. And then so, after that, y'all, I told him I would have. He was like, "Do you think we can get a second chance?" I was like, "I would have to think about it." And then so after that, 2 weeks go by, and the it's Christmas, y'all. It's Christmas Day, and it's nighttime, midnight. So I go into the DFAC this time, and because me and my coworkers, we had went to my coworker's house, and we had like started talking and stuff, and like then we were like, yeah, we're gonna go to the DFAC afterwards. So we end up going to go to the DFAC, and what happened was like I saw him, he had served me food like usual, and then so I was like, okay, well, I guess he's not really trying to do anything like for real. He's not really serious about this running back stuff. And then so afterwards, I'm like, you know what? I'm a little hungry. Because I had that day for like 3 days in a row, I hadn't eaten properly. So I was shaking. I was like, because y'all, like, when I tell you my food, like, intake has been fluctuating, I don't know why, like, a girl just not eating like how she should be eating. But, yeah, so I go back just to get some peanut butter and jelly from my room. And I see him, and he's looking over, because I can see from my peripheral. He's looking over a little bit, and then I'm like getting my stuff, and then I look up, and then he starts talking to me. He was like, how's your Christmas going, and stuff like that. I was like, my Christmas is going good. And then basically, to skip time, he starts talking about going back on his date and stuff like that. I was like, you know what, I'll give it a second chance this time. And y'all, I gave it a second chance. So mind you, we set up this date, and so he was talking about next Saturday, going on this date. He was talking about next Saturday. I'm like, you know what? Next Saturday sounds a little far, especially for someone who don't keep in communication with somebody. It sounds a bit far. And so I didn't tell him that it sounds far out, but I was like, okay, why not? Sure. Because I like guys who take the lead, so, I can't, like. So, yeah, he was like, next Saturday, blah, blah, blah. Then I see him in a DFAC this time. I didn't know he was going to be in a DFAC at that time of day. Y'all, the only reason I went to the midnight DFAC is because I thought he was not going to be there, but he ended up being there. And this time I went to the dinner DFAC because I thought he wasn't going to be there, and he was there. So I was like, just my luck. But so I was like, whatever. And then so he sees me, and he doesn't say hey or nothing like that. How those like people be like, hey, how are you doing, blah blah. He sees me, and then I don't say anything, because if you're not gonna say anything, I'm not gonna say anything. And plus I didn't have my contacts in, so I couldn't really make out. I usually I can't do that. So after that, I go to his section, because I wanted a corn dog. I usually always get a corn dog because I love the skin of a corn dog. But so I go to his section just to get a corn dog, and then he's like, just being awkward as crap. And then so afterwards, I go and I take my food to go back to my dorm here, of course. And mind you, he said next Saturday. Y'all, tell me why after I get from the DFAC with him and his friend, he's talking about you want to do it on Friday. And I'm like, Friday? That's literally tomorrow. But I was like, okay, why not? And so, we did. We ended up going, and y'all, I was 1 minute late. And I was really debating on not going, but I was like, something in my head was going, don't repay evil for evil. Because I was really trying to I was like, this would be the get back of the century. But I was like, let me not be like that. So, I didn't do it. I went. And so, yeah. So I went, and I saw him, and he saw me, and he was like, oh, dang, I thought you were going to stand me up, blah, blah, blah. He's been very awkward and nervous, and, I was very, like, chill, reserved, and nervous, too, because I find him, like, visually attractive, but I was like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And so we end up sitting at a table. Y'all, this boy is ducking his head, hood up a little bit. I'm like, sir, we're not in freaking Captain D's in Memphis. What are you doing? Your ops coming after you? Like, what are you doing? And so he's like, no, it's just a lot of people at my DPAC, at my coworkers, like, his coworkers were there, y'all. I didn't know his coworkers were gonna be there, but I had a suspicion. Me and my friend, we had talked about this. We were like, what if his coworkers end up like spying on us for real? And they did that day. They did. And then the most obvious thing happened that night, because like we were talking and stuff, and as we were talking, lots of things we were talking, and tell me why his friend had walked up to him, dabbed him up. The same guy I see in the defect dabbed him up and was like, yo, we still good for basketball after this. And he was like, yeah, yeah. I was like, y'all, mind y'all, before this, I was watching a whole bunch of videos on worst date stories. Like, worst date horror stories. So I was like, when I had walked in, I was like, thinking in my head, I was like, what if this ends up being like one of those worst dates? I can add them into one of those chaotic date stories. And yes, y'all, I added it in because what? I was like, this is insane. I felt like I was in like one of those streamers, Twitch streamer videos, like where they be playing a lot. That's what I felt like I was in. I was like, I really shouldn't be here. That's what I was thinking. And y'all, like as we were talking, I was like, usually I would want to stay, but I was just ready to go. I don't know why I was feeling that way. I was like, cuz I wanted to stay, like me thinking I was like, I wanted to stay, but I want to go, cuz I know this probably is not going to work out. So he was like, I don't know why they're there, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. This is very weird and interesting. And then so, after that, we finished eating and stuff like that, and y'all, we get outside, he's talking about, should I walk you home? Red flag. If he talking about that, like I should have known. Like he was like, should I walk you home? I'm like, I said it's up to you. And he was like, well, I live over there, so bye. I was like, okay, bye. After that, no text. Hey, did you get home safely? Hey, I had a great time. None of that. None of that. So I was like, I see where I stand. I see where I stand. No message for 3 days straight. Oh, 3 days. I see where I stand. I see where I stand. And honestly, it makes me feel sad, y'all, because this is not the first time that this has happened. This is actually like the second. There was this one date where I was like, talking to this guy. I was thinking, I was like, he was talking about his ex a lot, and then he was like, you know what, in the middle of it, he was like, you know what, this is not gonna work out. I don't see this going anywhere. I was like, yeah, me neither. I was thinking the same thing, honestly. I was like, yeah, me neither. And then so I told him bye, and then I got up and walked away. And I assume he walked away too. I don't know. I just walked away because I was like, I'm not finna be left sitting at a table by myself. So I don't know. But after that, so what had happened, was that, yeah, I talked to my friend about it. She was like, wow, that's crazy. I was like, yeah. And, yeah. This is the third time that this happened, and I was like, I'm really thinking about what could my husband be doing? Who is my husband? Where is he? And what is he doing? Because y'all, I could really be, if I'm gonna really be honest, I know, like even when I was on a date with him, I was like, what are you looking for? Because I don't know what I'm looking for either. I just want a husband, y'all. I want a husband. I want a man who I know is my husband. I just want somebody who's like gonna be like, hey, are you doing okay? Checking in, hugs, kisses, cuddles. Y'all, like, I don't know, my tiny little heart. This is my favorite sweater. I love this sweater. I probably look 12 here, but y'all, I'm 20 years old. Ooh. Sometimes I wish I was 5'7" or shorter, but it's okay. God made me the way I was for a reason. But yeah, y'all, it is almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I have work tomorrow. And yeah, I just want to talk. So, this is goodbye. Bye.